Today, I stand before you to share a story of unimaginable pain, but also of incredible hope and strength. A story that embodies the resilience of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming adversity. Human trafficking is one of the most devastating forms of exploitation in the world today, affecting millions of people worldwide. The harrowing story of Adesuwa, a young girl from Nigeria, highlights the cold reality of how traffickers prey on vulnerable individuals, particularly young girls with dreams of a better life. Human trafficking is a crime that involves the illegal trade of humans for the purposes of forced labor, sexual exploitation, or other forms of abuse. It is often hidden behind a mask of promises of better work, education, or a better life. In the case of Adesuwa, the promise was made by Mama Bello, who convinced Adesuwa's family that she could work in the city and help her family escape poverty. This is the story of Adesuwa. Adesuwa was a bright, hopeful 16-year-old girl living in a small Nigerian town with her family. Every day was a struggle for them. Her father was too sick to work, and her mother tried her best to keep food on the table, but money was tight. Despite the hardships, Adesuwa dreamed of becoming a nurse so she could lift her family out of poverty and bring them a better future. One evening, as the family sat together in their small home, a knock sounded at the door. Outside stood a well dressed woman named Mama Bello. She seemed wealthy, confident, and spoke in a smooth, persuasive voice. She told Adesuwa's mother about job opportunities in the city for young girls. Your daughter could make a difference, she said, looking straight into Adesuwa's mother's eyes. Adesuwa's mother hesitated, her worry clear, but when she saw the hope in Adesuwa's face, she agreed, thinking it might be their only chance. Excitement mixed with nerves as Adesuwa traveled with Mama Bello. But as they journeyed, Deswa noticed things that made her uneasy. Mama Bello spoke in hushed tones on her phone, mentioning buyers, though Adesuwa didn't understand. When they finally arrived, it wasn't the bustling market or restaurant she'd imagined. Instead, Mama Bello led her to a tall, dark house with high walls and barred windows. Is this where I'll work? Adesuwa asked, her voice small and uncertain. Mama Bello only gave her a cryptic smile and they went inside. Mama Bello led Adesuwa to a small, dimly lit room and locked the door with a loud click. Adesuwa's heart pounded as she banged on the door, shouting, "Please, let me out!" But no one answered. Hours later, Mama Bello returned, her once kind face now cold and detached. "You'll work for me, doing what I say when I say," she sneered. Adesuwa's heart sank as she realized she'd been tricked. Her dreams of helping her family seemed to shatter in an instant. In the following days, Adesuwa met other girls trapped in the same nightmare. One girl named Ife became her closest friend. Ife had been there longer and knew the dangers well. In the quiet hours of the night, she shared her story with Adesuwa, her voice filled with sorrow. "I tried to escape once. They found me," Ife whispered. Despite the fear Ife's words stirred in her, Adesuwa's determination only grew. She clung to hope, silently praying for a way out. One night, Adesuwa and Ife devised a plan. They would sneak out through a small window during the guard shift change. When the moment came, they crept to the window, their hearts pounding as they climbed out into the night air. Just as they thought they were free, the sound of angry voices erupted behind them. Two of Mama Bello's men had spotted them and grabbed them roughly, dragging them back inside. Mama Bello's fury was terrifying. Trying to leave, were you? She sneered. Adesuwa's hope crumbled as they were locked away once more, the promise of freedom slipping away. Days stretched into weeks, and Adesuwa struggled to hold onto hope. Then one day, a kind woman named Aunty Grace arrived at Mama Bello's house with supplies for the girls in need. She was different, her eyes warm and compassionate. As she passed Adesuwa, she slipped a small card into her hand and whispered, "There is help. Call this number." Adesuwa clutched the card, feeling a fragile spark of hope reignite within her. That night, she carefully dialed the number, her hands trembling. Auntie Grace answered with a calm, reassuring voice, promising, "We're going to get you out of there." Over the next few days, Auntie Grace visited often, passing secret messages and explaining the escape plan. Finally, the night arrived, and Adesuwa waited, heart pounding, for the signal. A faint whistle sounded outside. Auntie Grace's team was ready. Holding her breath, Adesuwa slipped out of her room, moving quietly through the dark hallway. Auntie Grace's team guided Adesuwa and a few other girls through shadows and hidden paths. The silence was tense, broken only by distant footsteps. Just as they neared the exit, shouts erupted behind them. Mama Bello's men had spotted them. "Run!" one of Auntie Grace's team members shouted, urging the girls forward. Adesuwa sprinted with all her strength, adrenaline flooding her body as she reached the getaway car. She slammed the door shut just as they sped off, her heart racing as she watched Mama Bello's house disappear into the night. Safe in Auntie Grace's home, Adesuwa broke down, overwhelmed by relief and exhaustion. Auntie Grace held her gently, whispering, "You're safe now. No one will harm you again." In the following weeks, Auntie Grace introduced her to church, where Adesuwa found comfort and healing in God's love. She learned about kindness, forgiveness, and resilience. Each lesson helped her reclaim her strength, filling her with a peace she hadn't felt in a long time. Adesuwa returned to school with a new purpose. She worked hard, determined to become a nurse and help others. With each day, she grew stronger, more confident, and her dreams once again felt within reach. Over time, Adesuwa became a mentor to other young girls, sharing her story and helping them heal. She knew firsthand the importance of a kind, guiding hand, and she became that for others. As she grew older, Adesuwa and Auntie Grace founded the Light Within, a foundation dedicated to rescuing and empowering young women who had been trapped like she once was. They established safe houses where girls could find refuge and begin to rebuild their lives. The foundation offered rehabilitation programs, vocational training, and educational support, giving each girl the tools to create an independent future. Adesuwa also focused on prevention, traveling to villages to educate families and young girls about the dangers of traffickers. She partnered with schools to provide scholarships, helping young girls pursue their dreams instead of falling into desperate situations. Through her work, Adesuwa became a symbol of hope and resilience in her community. Her foundation expanded, partnering with local law enforcement and community leaders to create a network of support for at risk individuals. Years later, Adesuwa was invited to speak at an international conference on women's empowerment. Standing on the stage, she spoke with calm confidence, her words reaching hundreds of listeners. "My story," she began, "is not just my own. It belongs to every young girl who dreams, every family struggling to survive, and every person who sees the value in a life, No matter the darkness it has faced, hope saved me. I believe it can save anyone. After her speech, a young girl approached her with tear filled eyes, sharing a story similar to Adesuwa's. You helped me remember that I'm worth more than my past, the girl said. Adesuwa embraced her, knowing that sharing her journey was fulfilling a promise she had made to herself long ago to turn her pain into purpose. In time, Adesuwa was able to buy a modest home for her family. Her father, once frail and worried, looked at her with pride. You've brought light to all of us, Adesuwa. You are the answer to our prayers, he said. Her life became a beacon of hope, reminding others that no matter how dark the journey, there is always a path to light. With each new life she helped, each girl she encouraged, Adesuwa's legacy of resilience and faith grew stronger. She had not only rebuilt her life, but had become a symbol of strength, compassion, and the power of faith. Adesuwa knew that her journey was just beginning. And as long as she had the light within her, she would continue guiding others toward hope and freedom. Despite the harrowing circumstances Adesuwa faced, her determination to survive and escape was a testament to the strength of the human spirit. Her journey teaches us that even in the most desperate situations, resilience, hope, and the will to fight for a better future can lead to freedom. The value of support systems. Adesuwa's survival was largely due to the intervention of individuals like Aunty Grace, who offered her the support and guidance she needed to escape captivity. This emphasizes the critical role that support systems, whether family, friends, or organizations, play in helping victims of human trafficking regain their lives. The importance of awareness and prevention. The story also teaches us the importance of awareness about human trafficking and how vital it is to educate young people about the dangers of exploitation. It's crucial to provide them with the knowledge to protect themselves and understand the risks involved when promises of a better life sound too good to be true. Empowerment through advocacy. Adesuwa's story highlights how personal empowerment and recovery can lead to a greater mission of helping others. By becoming an advocate for other survivors, she transforms her painful experience into a tool for social change, showing that one person's strength can inspire and create a ripple effect for justice and support. Thank you for listening. If you have enjoyed this informative story, please like, comment, and share to friends and families so that they can also get this information. If you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe and don't forget to hit the notification button so that you will be the first to be notified whenever we put up a new interesting stories like this. Thank you and see you in our next story.